Hello all, welcome to VJ SAP. Today we are going to learn about SAP. So earlier videos, if you refer it, we were talking about some advanced topics. Now from today onwards, from this video onwards, we'll be talking about a basics. So SAP, what is this SAP? Why we this SAP? Why we need SAP, right? How many people are using this SAP in the market? Now, before we start with SAP, I want to run through one small example. So let's assume that you have a factory or you have an enterprise, you have a company or you have a manufacturing company. Let's assume that. So your examples, you have a ice cream factory. In ice cream factories, earlier how it was happening, right? You need to buy a raw materials like sticks, milk, powders, sugar, etc, right? And if you want to prepare a ice cream, you have to have the planning production, you have to have the production, and to transfer your ice creams from one place to other place, you need a transportation, which is logistics you need, right? To maintain all your employees and employees count, you need a HR, and to manage your accounts or to manage your amounts or budgeting or financing things, you need a finance department, right? And you have to do some sales. So once you produce your production, so you have to sell that to a customer, so that you need it. So there are some other, you know, department. Each department, it has its own inventory, which meaning that which means each department, they are, writing their own stories, or they are writing their own, they maintain their own accounts. So earlier, before SAP, what happened? So they used to maintain some ledger books or some maintaining some traditional ERP systems, right? ERP is nothing but enterprise resource planning. Okay. So when I say ERP, so whatever the resources you have it. When I say resources, it's not only humans, it's include everything. Your assets, your raw material, your logistics, your all the departments, whether it is physically available, if it is logically available, both under come under resources. So in your organization, in your enterprise, you have a resources. How you will plan it, that's called ERP, enterprise resource planning. Okay. So earlier you have inventories, finance, HR, sales, logistics, etc departments, you have it, and each department, they have their own ledgers, they have their own softwares. Now once SAP came into the market, what happened? So SAP told that instead of maintaining all your own languages, all your own ledger departments, ledger books, you use my system. Okay, it's called SAP ERP. So you have other ERPs as well, but why SAP ERP is very important, I will tell you. Okay. So SAP ERP, so instead of using, so if you go for a traditional ERPs, right, then you have to use only for one particular thing. Let's say it's only for production planning. Let's assume that. But when it comes to a SAP ERP, you can use the system for your sales, you can use the system for your finance, HR, production planning, CRM, customer relationship, right, logistics, all your inventory or your planning, production planning. So everything you can use for single SAP ERP system. So there the SAP ERP is very famous to use this one. Understood? So when I say ERP, enterprise resource planning, enterprise resource planning, you have an enterprise, in your enterprise you have a resources and how to plan it. It's called enterprise resource planning. Now if I go for this one, in this SAP, what we are learning here is called basis. SAP basis, right? SAP basis is the one of the modules. So before I start with basis, in SAP you have a multiple modules are there. The specific dedicated modules like ERP one, we can say it, CRM, PLM, hospitals. For hospital we have separate module. For insurance we have a insurance model. So every department, right? Every particular functions you have a separate modules. Irrespective of any functions you have it or any module you have it, SAP Basis is the common one. Okay, because this is your technical module. Okay, so when I say basis, it's called business application software for integrated solution. Basis business application software for integrated solution. It's called basis. Basis knowledge requirement. If you want to learn this basis requirement, you have a minimum any OS admin knowledge, any minimal network knowledge, any DB minimal admin knowledge. Okay. Note, nowadays people are not even having any OS, any network, any DB, but people, if you don't have above knowledge, also you can learn this course. There is no mandate. But if you have this knowledge, then there will be an opportunity to learn very quick. If not, you can learn. That's not a problem. It's up to you how you can learn this course and how you will practice. So again, I'm repeating here, basis business application software for integrated solutions. So you have a applications. It's called software application, right? So every application we call it as a software. You have a business application, and that application used for integrated solutions. So it's called basis. Now I'll go to for SAP, right? We were talking about SAP systems, applications, and products in data processing. You have systems, you have applications, you have a products in data processing. So when you are processing any data, how you're going to use the systems, application, and products. So that's called the meaning of this SAP systems, applications, and products in data processing. So before we start, we're going inside this one. SAP is one of the European company. Now it is a multi-international company called as a MNC, right? Multinational company. So this manage and this makes all enterprise softwares like SAP. So we have several software within SAP itself. If I say now all the list of SAPs, you cannot understand. So business operations and customer relations. It's also maintained this, business operations and customer relations. The company is especially known for a ERP software. As I told, enterprise resource planning. You have a several department, and by using this ERP, SAP ERP, you can what you can do is you can plan a better way. So why I need to use SAP? What is the purpose of SAP? Why don't you go for a different softwares, right? Let me give you one example here. You consider you have a three department: HR, finance, production planning. HR, they are using a software called Hunt, so which they will be paying 100 rupees for their software. And sales, they're using some 100 bucks for their software. And you have a production planning department, they are paying 100 bucks for their software. So total three softwares you have it, and you are spending 300 bucks. Now when you implement your SAP, so you need to pay, let's say example, your license cost will be 150 bucks. So if you pay 150 bucks to your applications, and remaining 150 bucks you can use for your business improvements, right? So that's the reason SAP grab all your markets, right? So this SAP currently, I mean, this SAP is in Waldorf, Germany. That's a head office. Almost, you can find in 180 countries, and companies having almost 404 lakhs 25,000 customers. So this is actually invented in 1972 in Germany, right? So there were some, I mean, like, let me give you the example why SAP has actually the history of SAP. There were four people. They have some idea. They had some idea on this ERP concept. They told to their parent company. They said that no, this idea will not work. Then they came out from the company and then they started their own company called SAP. From there, they started, all the softwares, ERP software and different module softwares like CRM, SRM, PLM, etc, etc, etc. And from there, they grabbed all the customers. Now it's one of the biggest company in the world. Now I'll go for a SAP ERP, as I told, right? SAP ERP is an enterprise resource planning software developed by the German company SAP SE. SE is your European company. SAP ERP incorporates that key business functions in the organization. The latest version of ERP is 6.0 and EHP 8, and ERP 6.0 was released in 2016. Now we do have other options. After EHP 8, we have another components that we will talk, right? So now, as I told, all the departments can use one single SAP ERP systems, and then they can do their business. Now you see that business process including SAP ERP operations, sales and distribution, as I told, sales and distributions, material management, production planning, how your material will be managed, how your production will be planning, how your logistics will be executing, quality management, how you will do the quality on this, financials, all your financial account, financial supply chain management, human capital management, training, payroll, e-recruiting, corporate services like travel management, environment, health and safety, and real estate management. So all there are plenty. So we can use in the ERP. Now, once we complete that one, so I want to talk about a client server architecture here. When I say client server architecture, client always send a request, right? What server will do? Server always will provide you a response. Okay. So please subscribe my channel. I'll talk about in the next video. I'll talk about client server architecture and more. If you have any questions, please do comment. I will reply. Thank you.